Heroes often make great movie subjects. Winning its own industry's version of the Olympic gold was the Academy Award-winning movie Chariots of Fire, depicting the athletic quest of a great British runner. It took just 10.6 seconds for Harold Abrahams to make history at the 1924 Olympics in Paris. He brought home the gold, winning the 100-meter run, and to date remains the only Englishman to take an Olympic sprint title. Harold's quest for victory came alive for all of us a few years ago with the film Chariots of Fire. The talented British actor Ben Cross took to the track to make this Academy Award-winning spectacular.
I think I actually knew that I was cast as Harold Abrahams when I was in costume on the set of the first day, and I heard the director say action, because at no point did either of them actually come to me and say, you know, congratulations, Ben, you've got the part. You know, I mean, it was. I think this is all part of their process of winding me up and making me neurotic so that I could play Harold Abrahams, you know, the sprinter.
Ben, you really look good, but you really were not a runner. You hadn't run before.
No, I hadn't, Frank. I hadn't really, truthfully, hadn't done anything sporting for about 15 to 17 years since I left school. And eventually it built up that what I would do is, after stretching, which is terribly important when you do exercise, after about 20 minutes of stretching, I used to sprint 2 miles, which is sprint 100 yards, walk 100 yards, sprint 2, walk 2, sprint 100, you know, and eventually you just go around, and that's how you do it. And I used to do 3 sessions a day of sit-ups and press-ups, and I think I got up to about 500 a day of each, and then in the evening I'd go out for a 3-mile run, and that was 6 days a week.
Ben, you created a similar sense of awe that we feel when we watch these great athletes perform here in the Olympics. Did you personally get caught up in this while you were making the film?
I was an actor, and I was sort of known in my own country, but not known anywhere else. And suddenly I have the opportunity to play this film, and all it did was terrify me. And I worked very, very hard in preparation for the role, and through the making of the film I tried to retain a sort of intensity. When I was in Irvine, I was sitting at the end of the pool, and there was this man who came slowly swimming up and hooked his elbows on the edge of the pool and said, "Hey, aren't you Ben Cross?" So I said, "Yes, I am." "Yes, you know." He said, "Smoking?" Which I happened to be. And I said, "Well, yes, you know, I'm awfully sorry, but it's my job to inspire, not necessarily to be inspired." And he said, "God," and he pushed off into this lazy backstroke, "Give us an idol we can believe." And it's very, you know, you can't argue against that. It's very strange. All I can say is that there's no way I thought that I would be any object of anyone's idolization, number one. And number two, the success of the film. I was just doing a job.
After the 24 Olympics, when Harold won the gold medal, he never ran well again. How about you? Have you run well since then?
By the end of the film, I only had to look at a running shoe, and I felt nauseous. So for about 2 years, I totally and utterly rejected everything to do with running and sport, and people, you know, these annoying people are so healthy. They come up to you with their eyes shining, and they're like springs, saying, "Hello, how are you? Good morning," and get out, go away. But I remember I was like that myself.
Ben, you'll be back in London for the Games, but I know you've seen the tremendous outpouring of nationalism, American pride here in Los Angeles, and it's swept the country. How do you feel about that?
It's very nice that the feeling of patriotism and nationalism that I've experienced whilst I've been here the last 2 or 3 weeks has sprung from something rather definite. What I have, I think, experienced really is that you know, people do realize that this is one of the few countries that can put on a spectacle, and a country that will sincerely try to keep the flame of the spirit of the Olympics kindled. And for the last 10 or 15 years, it was kind of uncool, you know, to be patriotic, and there was a lot of kind of cynicism. But I can't help feeling that, you know, you start with the family. You start with your family, and from your family you then go to your country, and then from the country you go to the world. And if you have no respect for your own country, I don't think you can have too much respect for, you know, for anything else.
Ben Cross, he's a dynamite guy and a dynamite actor. I might point out that Alan Wells also won the 100 meters in 1980. Those games, of course, in Moscow. He won that for Great Britain. Ben Cross telling you that it doesn't all